Adults know that the economy, inflation, job uncertainty can cause anxiety, and that making sense of finances, it doesn't happen overnight. It's something that takes a while. So as we mark April as National Financial Literacy Month, we wanted to take a look at how even young kids can be taught responsible money management. In fact, I'm guessing that's when you should start teaching them, when they are young. Parenting expert and GMA e-commerce reporter Bethany Braun-Silva is here to help us sort through some of this. Always good to see you. What's the best way to start this conversation, and what age would you suggest?
Well, I would say kids can always sense maybe stress or tension around money, especially with what we're going through right now with current events. And that's likely, Phil, because we're always buying them things, or they're always asking us to buy them. Right, they want stuff, right? So keep the door open to have really honest conversations about money and finances. And for preschool age kids, you want to keep those examples really concrete. Milk costs more now than it did maybe a week ago, so let's try a new brand. Middle schoolers or older elementary school kids can understand things like budgeting, money saving, and wants versus needs. And then for teens and tweens, we can get a little deeper into definitions around supply chains or inflations, and teaching them how big global events can trickle down into the purchase that your family makes every day.
And how you should start saving at an early age. But how do you do this? So I think I read somewhere that one of the biggest sources of stress in any marriage is finances. Yeah. So you're right, kids see that, but how do you explain it to them without scaring them?
Well, I think that if your kids are tapped into this, even slightly from the news or conversations you're having in your own home, it's likely that they are hearing two phrases being thrown around. The first is inflation, why things are more expensive. You know, you take them to the grocery store and their favorite snack used to be a dollar, now it's $1.25. That's inflation. The way that prices go up over time, but sometimes that happens faster than usual. The next is tariffs, why things or this toy costs more than it did before. You can explain to them that sometimes the government adds extra fees when we buy things from other countries. Those are tariffs, and it makes things more expensive for everyone, not just us.
You know, I think it's funny is when I would do that with my kids when they were little, their response is usually like very, naive and innocent, and the response that you have too. Well, why is that? It shouldn't be that much more expensive. What are the benefits of starting young?
Well, we know that kids who are taught financial literacy can grow up to be more financially responsible adults. And you can teach that or bring that into your home, again, in really simple, concrete ways. Taking them to the grocery store, having them compare prices, making those budget swaps. Those are really, really great ways for them to understand how financial decisions can impact your family on a daily basis. If you are having to make some big sacrifices as a family, again, bring the kids into the fold. We're not taking our yearly family vacation. Instead, we're going to do a staycation. Is there something that you want to do that would be fun for you? And of course, you want to have these conversations, maybe not every day, but especially not only in times of stress. Have this be brought into your regular family routine, if you will.
And a whole separate segment is what happens when you don't do this. What happens when the kids grow up and they have no financial literacy, it becomes bad as adults.
Absolutely. We could talk about that.
That's a whole other segment. Bethany, thank you so much.
You.
Always good to see you.